to come to our meeting earlier tonight, and I just started garnering feedback about some of the services that Academic Support offers. So they're going to come up and give a brief presentation about some of the services, but the half sheet of paper, they're just trying to figure out what students know already. So before they come and give you all the presentation, just fill it out real quick. You don't have to write a ton or anything. But that being said, I'm going to hand the floor over to them.
Hey, good evening. Thank you so much, Amy, for the introduction. My name is Jamie Miller. I serve as the Director of the Office of Academic Support. It's a privilege to be here today. This is my first meeting to attend in this very formal setting. You guys look great, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is my colleague.
Hey everyone, my name is Allison Stewart. I'm the coordinator for outreach and special programs within the Office of Academic Support.
We're excited to collect this information and to get a sense of kind of the pulse. What's going on among students? What are they talking about regarding these three major services we offer, recognizing that we actually have other programs and services as well. And so if you could please, on that one side, talk about what you know already prior to walking into this room today about the Office of Academic Support, about supplemental instruction, academic coaching, study partners. Give us a sense of what you knew when you walked through the doors today. And then on the back, we're asking a little bit about positive things you've heard. I like to say, what's the word out there? What's going on? What are students saying? And so if you could give us a sense of that pulse, that would be very helpful. No comment can be too critical. No comment can be too positive. We want to hear what you've heard so that we can get a really good sense of what students are saying and talking through, or what challenges they might be running into. So I'm going to yield to Allison. She's going to give us a quick kind of top 5, these are our programs, just to give you a better sense. But please don't feel like you need to add that to the what you know now. I really want to know before you walked in today what you knew. And then Allison's going to fill in some of those gaps for us right now.
Thank you, Jamie. Again, just a quick summary, some identifying information pieces about some of the services and programs that we offer in the Office of Academic Support. Academic coaching is a free resource in which students are paired with a graduate level coach. They meet 3 to 5 times throughout the course of the semester to discuss ways that they can be a better student overall. So think of a lot of those soft skills, study skills. Time management is probably the most popular reason in which especially younger students come to see us. Test preparation is a close second. So how do I study? How do I make sure that I am prepared for this Auburn college level exam, especially coming from high school into college at a research institution? Other things including test preparation with textbook reading, note-taking, professional communication, anything that holistically helps the student become a better student. That is what academic coaching does for those students. We also have study partners, which is a free peer tutoring system that focuses on core classes. So a lot of the classes that every student, regardless of their major, has to take. That's an opportunity for students to learn either in a 50-minute one-on-one appointment with a peer tutor, or we do have drop-in sessions that can come for 2 minutes, 2 hours, by yourself or with a friend, whatever works best for you. But it is always gauging to going in and meeting with a tutor so that you have this better understanding of course material. You're able to ask questions and really dive deep into that material. Supplemental instruction is very close to study partners. It's better known as SI on this campus. That's another sort of peer tutoring system, a little bit different though because it is course and instructor specific. It is when a peer leader has taken a course before, has excelled, and is now taking it again. Not for course credit, but they are able to be paid as a leader to sit down and take the same notes that that student is taking, hear exactly what that professor is saying on those dates, and then they have study sessions twice a week in the evenings outside of class on campus. So that's a really great opportunity. It's very relaxed. It's a free opportunity, so no appointment necessary for students to go with their peers to a relaxed session and review material in a very engaged, collaborative, and active way. We do have 2 other programs that are not the big 3 as we call it in our office because they are for specific student population. But Plains and Prep, we're in our 3rd year we just completed, is for incoming freshman student, in which students that did not place into Calculus 1 for their first semester can come through this 10-day very holistic program, review math concepts, they have a leader that they're assigned to, they get to meet upperclassmen and other incoming first-year students. At the end of the experience, they take a math placement exam to hopefully place up into Calculus 1. So it supports that timely graduation. They don't have to start Auburn in a math class that does not are for any undergraduate enrolled student that wants to elevate their skills. So we don't want to create this culture or myth that in order to go to tutoring or SI or coaching, you are struggling, you are a failing student, because that is simply not true. We have 4.0 students that come to see us all the time because that is how they choose to go over the material again, make sure that they are staying on track. And then the last piece of advice I'll give you guys to also pass along to other students would be, we really encourage you guys to use this as a proactive resource as opposed to reactive. So instead of waiting until midterms or perhaps finals, coming to see us this first couple of weeks, come see us early and often so that you can get the most out of your time with us. That was a super quick spiel. What sort of questions do you all have maybe about our services? What information can we verify for you about those? Yes?
How long has SI been around?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I can answer that supplemental instruction is a national model, and the University of Missouri Kansas City actually established the concept of SI. I want to guess that it was in the 1990s, and I would love for someone to Google that and correct me. But as far as at Auburn, my understanding is it's about 12 to 15 years now we've been doing SI. Started with history. So what we'd love to do is collect all of that information, if you'll like push it towards a row. Please do not hesitate to contact Allison or myself if we can be of any help to you. If you have an idea to better support students on campus with academics, we want to hear it. Do not hesitate to reach out to us in the future. Thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Are there any other updates from the Cold Spring?
Hey guys, again, declarations of intent. Everybody, please vote them out. November 30th at 5 p.m. is when declarations of intent are due. That's all major and minor candidates and campaign managers. And then Miss Auburn nomination forms are due this Friday at 5 p.m. We currently have nobody nominated for Miss Auburn. So, talk to your constituents, your friends, people in your classes. They don't have to be friends at this point. Pull somebody else to the side on the concourse and tell them that Miss Auburn nominations are due this Friday. We had an info session last week. Second info session is tomorrow at 3 p.m. And hold on, I'll figure it out. I'll just email y'all. But it's tomorrow at 3 p.m. We have a session on Tuesday at 7 p.m. and then we have another session the week after Thanksgiving on the 26th at 7 p.m. as well. So please, please, please tell people to nominate people, fill out the forms, and if they don't want to do that right now, the SGA website under the elections tab has literally all of the information about elections.
Thanks, Greg. Are there any other updates? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move into roll call. Please click A so we know you're here.
Yeah, mine's dead.
While we're handling that, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Minutes were sent out to you electronically last week. Are there any corrections or objections to the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes stand. Senator Henry, get checked in.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Perfect. Moving into reports, we'll begin with colleges, starting with at-large.
We still invited Georgia to go to Auburn on the move on November 13th at 3:30 because that's when President Meade gives his state of the university. And we just think it's really important that we try so hard for Meade to listen to us. So we really need to show up and show him that we care about his progress with the university. And I think that it would look really awesome if we saw us there.
Where is it?
Oh, it's in. I'm sorry. It's in
Simmons, our treasurer's dad, is actually coming to speak to the College of Business tomorrow at 6:30 in Louder 113A. That's one of the lecture halls. He actually works for the Center for Executive Leadership, so if anybody wants some good tips or pointers on leadership, feel free to attend. It's open to the public, so we'd love to see you there.
Cassie, Sam.
Osmond Sam, we had our last gather around the table dinner tonight focusing on how to implement the goals that we've set over the semester. So it was a great success. We're looking forward to continuing that next semester.
Engineer.
Engineering. We've been talking to our school's council about issues for engineering students like buildings staying open later and food options in the area. Also working on setting up a meeting with our dean for the term.
Forestry and Wildlife Sciences.
Plastic forestry. So tomorrow we're having a soft skills workshop, which is our career development series. That'll be from 5 to 6:30 in room 2217. We'll also be having our career fair, which is on the 14th, Wednesday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in conference room 1101. And then a quick reminder regarding my email that I sent to all the committee chairs. If you please respond as soon as possible so that that PowerPoint can be as informative as possible for the next term's orientation. Thanks.
Grad school.
Zinner Graduate School on Wednesday at 3 o'clock in Mel. 2550 are the 3-minute thesis finals. I've mentioned it here before a couple times, but this is a great opportunity for all of you to see some of the research that your constituents are doing, primarily graduate students, but everybody is welcome, and these are still your constituents. To see some of the great research that's going on at Auburn. I went last year. It's a great event. I highly recommend it. The other thing is expanding a bit on what Bree said about declarations of intent, which is, again, very important. Please get that through as soon as possible. But Elizabeth, our graduate student council president, and I are going to be holding an info session specifically for graduate students interested in the graduate student positions, because there are some grad student specific roles that may not be addressed in the other sessions. Just very specific things. GSC is a very unique body. So we're going to be having an extra info session after Thanksgiving. The exact date is TBD, but I'll be keeping everyone in the loop about that.
Human Sciences.
Huntley Human Sciences. So last week, the College of Human Sciences Ambassadors had our monthly meeting. We basically talked about some different initiatives going on within the college, the events we have coming up. One thing that we're doing is we are raising awareness for Vegan Food Drive. So we are having a competition amongst our different departments within College of Human Sciences. So we've tried to reach as many students as possible to donate non-perishable food items in support of their specific department. But if you have friends in the College of Human Sciences, just help with that word of mouth, so y'all can pass that information along. And there are specific bins in the lobby for each department.
Liberal arts.
No report.
Nursing.
No report.
Pharmacy. We'll go ahead and move into committees, beginning with the executive committee.
Calhoun, business. Reminder, if you haven't got your office hours in this past week, be sure to do so right after Senate. That's when I'll be checking the binder. If you were wondering about how many absences you have for this entire term, please let me know. I can shoot you that information. And at the end of the term, the end of the semester is approaching, so I would like to encourage everyone to really, if you're working on any provisional legislation, really try and have that in the week after, well, you have to have it in the week after Thanksgiving break. So take that time, take the break to work on legislation now that school's winding down for the break. So that's all I got.
Academic affairs.
Engineering. So thank you guys for filling out that sheet. I know our feedback's going to be very valuable for the Office of Academic Support. Max came to our committee today, talked a little bit about some of the changes to the Academic Honesty Code that you'll probably be seeing in the next couple weeks. So thank you, Max. And then also Olivia has been working on the excuses for career fairs and job interviews. So we're doing a little more research on that. Hope to
private school. So first of all, with those of you that are on the code committee, please come speak to me afterwards. Just very quick update. No one's in trouble. It's all good. Also, the code committee meeting, we were canceled last week. We will be meeting as usual tomorrow, 9:30 to 10:30 in the involvement suite. So I highly recommend anybody who has code concerns or just want to see the code in process, come see us. We are always very welcoming people. We are also in the process still of defining various auxiliary boards. I'm at the point now where a lot of the bills we need to do are requiring feedback. I've sent out a lot of emails to people, a number of more reminders to people just to get back, because there's only so much we can know as Senate. Just getting everything clear in the code. What are all these extra boards, things like lobby board, doing in SGA? What is their relationship to the rest of SGA? So if you have any information that you think belongs in the code, please let us know in these next few weeks, as we're getting pretty close to the end of the semester, and we do not have that many Senate meetings in spring. That really should be, at least my hope, is getting things, a few straggling things through. And finally, as Amy says, the honesty code rewrite passed academic affairs, so expect to see that on the floor this semester, hoping to get it voted on before we leave for the semester. So that's more to come on that one when I present it, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Inclusion diversity. Huntley Human Sciences. So kind of going off of what Hayes talked about, fall thesis is going to be next Tuesday from 12 to 1. In the Student Center ballroom, I understand that's everybody's Thanksgiving break, but for a lot of our international students, they don't have the opportunity to go home and be with their families every Thanksgiving. So we're trying to give them that authentic Thanksgiving experience. So I'd love to see all of you there if at all possible. It's going to be a great event, and please be sure to RSVP on even involved. Also, next time we meet, so after the break, we'll be giving our presentation for the month from my committee. It should be a good one, so we look forward to that. As far as legislative things that have gone through my committee, so me and Max actually collabed on this legislation that we can have through tonight. So hopefully we'll see that pass through exec tomorrow, basically about Swiss Council constitutions and how we can make them more inclusive to all students. So yeah, that's
Student affairs.
Cheater at large. Yeah, so we had Senator Zinner and Senator Huntley in student affairs tonight, which was always fun. A lot of good work on that. Senator Davis has been working on parking and transportation resolution, which is going to be really neat to see, especially with how Auburn's changing so much in that aspect. And also working on a chair project that came from Student Veterans Association. So a lot of neat stuff going on right here. Closing up this semester.
Jumping back to officer reports, are there any executive officers?
Yes. Okay, so like we said, we have to have a Miss Auburn nominee. Is Bree still here? She lives. Okay, so she left. They have to be a junior girl, 25 hours have to be at Auburn. 60 credit hours, 25 at Auburn. They have a 2.5 GPA. So if anyone has any nominations, I would gladly take them.
Carly Albright.
Carly? Anyone else?
Caroline Matthews.
Okay, she's already been nominated by cabinet. Anybody else?
Hannah Robertson.
She in cabinet. Hannah Robertson.
Ashley Payne.
Yes. Okay, any other ones? Alright. Cool. Well, I'll send out a Google form and y'all can vote and we'll have a Miss Auburn nominee. But for real, tell all the people in your organizations that they have to submit it by November 30th, or they will not be able to have an interview for Miss Auburn. 16. November 16th.
Are there any other executive officer reports? Seeing none, we'll move into reports of special committees and liaisons, beginning with BSU. Student veterans.
Jackson Student Veterans. So it's getting really close and we're doing an Iron Bowl Rough March. So any last minute donations would be greatly appreciated. All you gotta do is just bring it up to the PRC in Boyd. And it's, think about it, anything you want in your dorm. Like baby care package, you know? Back.
Honors Congress?
No report.
Freshman?
No report.
Seeing as there's no more reports, we'll move into current orders of business, and Maddie will call the first one.
PSSB 18111201, student media career request.
Bill is brought to you by Senator Martin.
It's Lee Engineering. This bill says I ask for the approval of the following carryover of $3,827.55. The student media student activity portfolio 2018-2019 fiscal year budget. I move to pass this reading.
Second. This bill has been, a motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, and the bill is passed.
PSSB 18111202, SGA career request.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Turton.
Turton Business, I ask for the approval of the following: the carryover of $566.51 for the Student Government Association activity portfolio for the 2018-2019 fiscal year budget, and I move to pass this bill as written.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and this bill is adopted.
PSSB 18111203, UPC career request.
This bill is brought to you by Senator LaChesky.
Chesky Business, I ask for the approval of the following: the carryover of $271,583.90 for the University Program Council Student Activity Portfolio 2018-2019 fiscal year budget. I move to pass the following.
Second. A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Please say aye and be sure to click A. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Is everyone's eye clicker on? Does it appear that you voted?
PSSB 18111204, service area request.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Beal.
Beal Agriculture, ask for the approval of the following: carryover of $15,655.41 for the service student activity portfolio 2018-2019 fiscal year budget. I move to approve the following as written.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. This bill is adopted.
PSSB 18111205, Chapter 500, Organization Board.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Zinner.
Zinner, Graduate School. This is the first part of the organizations board cleanup, rewrite for Title V. So I didn't get any huge questions on this. This is really a cleanup bill, so I didn't expect too much. So I move to pass this bill as written.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this bill? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted.
PSSB 18111206, Chapter 502, Charter and Procedure.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Zinner.
Zinner, Graduate School again. This is, again, just like the previous one, small cleanup on Chapter 502, making things a little bit more consistent throughout. So I move to pass this bill as written.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted.
PSSB 18111207, Title IX, Student Communications and Media Law.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Zinner.
Zinner, Graduate School. This is the Title IX bill that I was very, very excited about last week, and I am still very excited about. This is a reminder. This is rewrite, clarification, took out a bunch of really repetitive stuff without changing any substance. So with that, I move to pass this bill as written.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and this bill is adopted.
PSSB 18111208, Senate apportionment.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Albright.
Albright,
government's funds for this year. It's for us to have our Thanksgiving style meal targeted at international students. So I move to pass this bill as written.
A motion has been made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and this bill is adopted. Moving on to future orders.
PSSB 1811.901, Title 11, additional board committees.
This bill is brought to you by Senator Zinner.
Center, graduate school. So this is, again, going along with what I've been doing, a clarification primarily on Title 11 of boards and committees. Now you'll notice the first thing I did was combine 1100 and 1101. Previously they were just like one big paragraph for each one, which is not the format we should have for the Code of Laws. They were pretty similar, pretty short, so they've been merged. I've also brought in, as you can see, go down a little bit, one section which was previously under Title II, that was already moved under Senator Albright's bill, but you can see it here. Under 1100 now, it's one of those sections. Additionally, the main change here is really numbering, because when you get rid of a chapter, you have to change the numbers and everything else. The other main significant change is to the Student Technical Appeals Committee. Previously it says the Assistant Vice President of Athletics. Now, this is a bit of an issue because in the code, we only define the executive officer of the cabinet, and we leave the rest of that up to the individual president, because what AVPs we have, and especially once you get into the director, assistant director level, that changes a lot year to year, and I don't want to change cabinet down to specific structures. Yes, we need to define these different executive areas, but I'm more than happy to have them appointed as necessary. However, given that we don't specifically define those roles, I don't want to just throw in one random part of the code a title that is never defined somewhere else. So instead of saying Assistant Vice President of Athletics, I say an appropriate cabinet official selected by the committee's chairperson, who in this case is the EVP of Programs, who is already defined in the Code of Laws Title II. So functionally, this could be exactly the same. They can choose the Assistant Vice President for Athletics, but this is just giving a little bit more weight to cabinets. I'm sure they will be fairly responsible with this, because again, who knows, they could expand athletics into two AVPs, in which case, which one you select. This is trying to future-proof it a little bit. That's the main significant change here. Everything else is really a couple grammatical things, primarily numbering. So I look forward to discussing this further and possibly voting on it next week.
Thank you. Seeing as there's no more orders of business, we'll move into announcements, and I just have a couple of things. I know we sent a link out a couple of weeks ago about SGA sweatshirts, and I'm sure some of y'all filled that out, so just an update on that. They're in, and so in order to pick those up, they're $15 cash or check, and you can give them to Bailey. She'll be in her office tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. In the afternoon, I'll send those out in group meets probably, so just be on the lookout for that. And if you can't find them, find her, find Dana to give her the money, I think. Is that everything there? And then also, I know our senators mentioned the State of the University tomorrow in Brown. I'll be there, so would love to see you as well. We have a schools council meeting following Senate, so if you have any announcements to make, just let me know. But other than that, that's what we'll be doing here after this. And then Senate liaisons, you should have swipe access. If you don't, let me know. But that's it from me.
Yeah, similar to what people mentioned, Fall Feast next Tuesday the 20th starts at noon in the ballroom. That's open to any and every student at Auburn who's going to be home or here in Auburn over the week. So if you know anyone that will be here, feel free to pass that on to them. A couple things looking ahead after Thanksgiving. Capital on the Plains is a partnership between our external affairs team as well as Emerge, and that'll be taking place on Thursday evening, November 29th. We'll have a speaker coming to that, so be a great event, as well as we'll have our second town hall of the year, which will be focused on parking and transportation services on Tuesday, December 4th, right here in 2222, starting at 6 p.m. And then Priority 1 will also be taking place from December 4th through 6th in the ballroom on
That's what I did. That was, to me, that was hard.